welcome back to Contact, a space engineer's survival series where I have been doing some farming. So yeah, I've spent some time in between episodes just, letting the plants grow. I did some mining as well just to kill time. I've learned some things about farming that are probably useful things to know. The first being, I did my breakdown of crops pretty much perfectly. So each crop has sort of a different time it takes to grow. So mushrooms are dang quick. These little guys are rapid. Vegetables and grain are about even and a little bit more time, but not much. Then fruits take a while. This is handy because I have more fruits, less of these and then fewer of these, but it's all kind of coming out to give me about the same amount of each thing. You can see all the plots are full. Let's look at what foods I have. That doesn't work. That should get us there, yeah. So I've got 6 more crisps. I've got a crap ton of fruit just because I collected a bunch more. Then 8 mushrooms, 9 grain, only 5 vegetable. But, yeah, it's all pretty good. We should also double check. Yep, still got ice. I think we still have a lot. Yeah. The ores container is still mostly ice. I did go out find our refineries. So I got a load of uranium because it was getting low. I also got some gold. I don't think it's in the system yet, but I got some gold and magnesium because they were getting low, and for future plans I'm gonna need it. So while the farm does its thing, I'm gonna go do some other things. The base is pretty much done, and I want to get on my general plan for today is drones. But there's one drone I want to build first that's not going to be the big combat drones that I take out to fight the Factorum with. And that drone will go here. So if you recall, I have this little spot, and then down at the printing array, I have another similar spot that I've kind of vaguely discussed. My plan, I want to be able to walk everywhere on the base, and to get down there, I want a little taxi drone where I just get on, press a button, and it goes. So I'm going to do that. Actually, the first thing I'm gonna do, I think this will work. I don't remember if this was before. No, it wouldn't have been before small connectors. I think I just forgot about these guys. But I think a small connector is gonna serve me better for the sort of docking linkage. Because I don't actually need to carry cargo because of the cargo pipeline. So, get the stuff for one of these, spin it around. Let it do its thing. Now I have something easy to build off of, and hopefully I'll still be able to access that fairly easily. Actually, haha! I can say there's a reason I put this down here and not just that I didn't want to see it through the catwalk. Alright. So that is a little platform drone. Got thrust in every direction. Got my 2 connectors, which I may add. Yeah, why not? Add a little bit of support too, just to make it feel more correct. So yeah, can walk onto it, have button to control it. My plan is to have this all be button managed, but I do have a remote, which I'm going to need to use that guy, which is the programmable AI controller. Is that what it's called? What is it called? AI recorder. So yeah, if I go in here, AI recorder task block. So I've only used these once, and it has been a little while. Let's do that, because that'll probably help us here. And I don't think I need a beacon because I won't be moving the station. Or if I do move the station, this guy becomes irrelevant. So that should be good. Yeah. Trying to remember. Don't know what that means. Oh, and I may need 2 of these guys, actually. Oh, there's a button to reverse order. I may be able to use that? I don't know. Okay. I think how I want to do this, because you can also record actions, I think? If not, I have room for more event controllers under there. But I unlock that. The magnets. Okay. So if I unlock that and then start recording, it's now recording locations, and it records every 1.7 seconds, which is probably fine. So if I take control of the remote, hold on, let's position ourselves so we can see. Okay, control of the remote. Can I... Dang it. Okay. Stop recording, delete all waypoints. Let's turn the connector off. Cha-cha-cha, that. So now we can move freely. And I may have to have event controllers that manage those separately after all. If I start recording, take control, take control. I don't know if that worked. I think it did. I was already in control, that's why. So now I can just start flying and it should record what I do. My plan is to just fly this bad boy down through this little gap over to that. Just wait there a second, so hopefully it makes a waypoint. And then I can kind of use gravity to tell me. Well, I guess most of the time you use gravity to tell you how to align things. Okay. So hopefully... Yeah, recorder. We've got a whole bunch of waypoints. Let's stop our recording. I do need to change this guy out. Hopefully it's not full of ice. Good. And just for ease, let's go ahead and get our 2 other event controllers in. So, okay. I should have a path. Before I set up the automation, let's just see if it can do it. So, flight controller on. Does this... I think this is automatically, it's just ready to give directions. Yeah. Please add - activate a task. That's what I want to do. So, if we reverse order of the waypoints, it's going. Okay, well that's not worked. Stop that. Let's try and reverse the order again. Ah. Oh. Oh no. Okay, well that's gone poorly. Stop it. Where's it gone? There it is. So I think what it just did there, for some reason when I reverse order, it wanted to be at the other end of the chain, which would have been the beginning. So it tried to straight line back to that point instead of going... It didn't actually reverse the order. It just sent it to the other end, which isn't what I wanted. I wanted it to follow the path I just laid in reverse. So that's not how that works, which means I need a second thingy. A second program that is programmed to have it go back. Which is probably going to be easier because then I can just, when I need it to do that, I just call the respective... Where'd it go? There it is. Just call the respective program I need and...
Energy.
Yeah, it'll be easier from the sort of programming logic side of things. In fact, this works out too. So the task block has a direction, which is basically just important for orientation. But if we're going the other way, I can actually flip the recorder. I don't think it'll matter, but I've done it. Then move the flight up here and cook myself on a thruster. Yeah. So the arrow sort of tells you what direction you're moving. Because of course I could have made this so that it spins you around at some point and only has one on. But it felt better having it be like almost like a flying bridge where you kind of enter one side, exit the other. So, okay. So our first program should be good. This will get a little awkward to fly. Yeah, let's go ahead and get our second one going. Okay. First, turn that off. And we remote in, control. Recorder 2, which has no waypoints. Record. Okay, now I have to fly backwards. If anything weird happens, just remember it's because all my controls are inverted. Oh. I'm actually using the arrow keys because I think it'll make my life easier. Oh, wrong. Uh-oh. I was afraid of that happening. Not as big a worry when it's actually going, because obviously this whole thing's kind of a silly boondoggle, but I would like to stay on it when I'm driving. Okay. I'm already in control. What am I doing? Recorder 2. All manner of waypoints. Stop playing them. Also, if that didn't work, I probably have to turn on something to see them. Okay. Toggle that off. So with 2 controllers, now let's do our test to see if it can follow the path and not crash into rocks. Okay, behavior on. Recorder. Nope, recorder 2 we just did. We need recorder 1. Which I may... So that's to the welder array. And this one is back to base. So if we want to go into welder array, I just hit play. And... Huh. Off we go. Why is this happening? Okay, I really don't understand these things. Okay, we've stopped. Where are we going now? Now we go back. Hold on. Hold on. Nope. Welder array is where we're going. Stop that. I may have an idea of what's happening here. Collision avoidance is on. Let's turn that off. And let's do precision mode. So, What these do, collision avoidance obviously tells it, hey, move away from grids. And I think what's happening is I'm starting so close to a grid, the AI panics and is like, oh, you got to get away, but you want to get to this waypoint. So it's trying to get to the waypoint, but it also doesn't want to be where it is because it's afraid of the other grid, which isn't good. So at risk of great damage, we'll turn that off. Precision mode means that the drone needs to be exactly at its waypoint, which basically, so the waypoint exists. Don't actually know how it's calculated between these two guys, but I need to be exactly in the position I was when I recorded the waypoint for it to move to the next one, which might cause a bunch of issues because these things aren't very precise, but hopefully it means that I actually follow my path correctly. So let's, real quick, I'm not going to be on the thing, I'll just hover with it, and hopefully that lets me drive without issue. Turn you off, take it back to where we need to be. So with those things off, let's see if we can get to the welder array. I'm also going to drop its speed limit. Yeah, none of that stuff should matter. Hopefully this will keep it from it'll make it slow, but again, I can fly down there if I really care. This thing's just for fun. Hopefully slow is easier to get to its points. Okay. Well, that's a good sign. Yes, yes. It's also not tipping me off. I was afraid that may happen because I don't know if it actually cares about its orientation in space as it moves, which could cause an issue here in a moment. Oh no, it does. It remembers what I did. Okay. It's real cautious. I was pretty cautious when flying, so part of it may be that there are a couple points that overlap, so it just sits a second. And I'd rather it be cautious than smash into walls constantly. It seems to be doing what it's meant to be doing.
Energy low.
Okay. Will it align correctly for this gravity? Nope. Okay, so it's not perfect. I mean, it got me here. There are some flaws. This is something I remember with these things, is they don't always seem to care about their angle. And I don't know why. An angle is going to be kind of important here. Let's see what happens. Let's trigger the other one, see what it does. Okay, it knows what position it wants to start in. So I think the issue may be it wants to put that block where that block was in space, but it doesn't know the orientation of that block, so it's just hit the point in space with that block. Which, you know, is fine if you don't care about the orientation it's in, I don't know of any way, because I don't think I can have it align with artificial gravity in any way either. Let's see what it does at this end. Maybe the issue was I just didn't give it enough time to sit at angle before... in fact, that might be the solution. If I sort of get in position, wait a while until it makes a waypoint, then rotate myself in that but it could just shift laterally. I mean, it's trying to do it here. It seems to know something's up. Let's get on board and use that to test if it does it correctly. Okay. Yeah, that's working. Okay, I think the key may just be I need to go even slower. So I may re-record that with this new knowledge. Though... yeah, it's still not quite right. Okay. Let's try... I'm gonna try both of these again. Let's see if I can make it do what I want it to do. So we're pretty much in position here. It might be that it doesn't record things that happen, like forces that act upon this. So because I was coming in and the final alignment was done with the magneticism of the connectors, maybe that confused it. And so if I do this with no connectors on, so I just bump up against things, maybe it'll record all that and get in the correct position. Okay. Welder array, begin recording. So, pull away. And then the first thing we do is drop. And we rotate. And we drop. Okay, we're out of gravity. Now that we're out of gravity, we do this rotation. That heading. Give it a second. And we move. And we stop. Now, I'm going to move just in this direction. Move a little forward. Move up now, and a little more forward. Then, rotate. Move forward. And attempt to align mostly with gravity. My idea with moving forward as I do that is it should hopefully create separate points that the thing tries to do in the correct orientation. I don't know. Now we move up. As, well, in the correct sort of level. Wait here, and butt up into the thing, and then give it another second. Okay. Stop recording. And show selected points. Do I also... Hold on. Do I also have to hit show on HUD? Yes. Okay. So we can see our little line. That does concern me that from that point to that point... I think that's what I'd need to do. I need that point to be like level here and then straight over. That doesn't look too bad. But yeah, like see here? I went straight out and then down. If only there were a way for me to like move that point. There isn't, is there? That's waypoint 35. No. I could delete it, but that doesn't help me. Okay. Turn that off. Turn it on for this guy. And let's begin doing the head back to base. So at this end, let's get roughly in position. Like out here. Then we move in. Yeah, that's a nice line. Hopefully that makes this make sense. Stop recording. Let's test. AI on, and I want to go to the welder array, please. Alright, which is that? Okay. Yes, we go down. Show it on HUD. Following that line. We angle, now that we're out of gravity. That's gonna be a little awkward on the return trip. A weird whoopty. Okay, it is seemingly remembering angle a little bit. I think going slower has helped it. Nope. Maybe? Yes. Ah, okay. So you can see this little 3-axis diagram. So it is trying to get the block close to that. And yeah, with multiple options, it's able to work its way there. I think part of the issue is that the gyro is just slower. So it struggles to get to that position before the block is like, well, we're here, so we're good. Okay, that's a lot better looking. Now, let's see. Just not close enough for the magnet. I may have to use larger connectors, because larger connectors should give me more area. Okay. Let's have that on too for the return. Let's test that return. Now I want to go to the base. Start moving towards the base. Good. Okay, we're getting to the weird whoopta. Whoa. Okay. That's reasonable. Oh no, this is the weird hoopta. Yeah, so that isn't where I don't know what's going on here.
Energy critical.
Okay. That looks good. Okay, so yeah, the key looks to be give it several points of your sort of angle before you want to be there, because it may take it a few points to actually get correct, especially with a larger change in angle. This, we're looking like we're now aligning perfectly. Moving in. Will the magnets magnet? No! Ah. Oh, we're too high. And we may have been too high. Okay. Let's try something. I don't love what it's gonna look like, but if it solves our problem, then...
No energy.
So with big connectors, that's hopefully more area to magnetize. But then change this out for a standard connector. Haha! Okay. That is a good sign. Let's get... Yeah. Get some of these guys to... actually... Oh, this also gives me a perfect chance to have some caution stripes at each end. Except for... I can't remember... Do these panels... No, they don't line up at all. I think the littler ones do. Yeah, okay. So that's still a walkable gap, but it's like, hey, don't walk off into space. I think that looks better. Let's go real quick. These lines are weird. Let's get rid of this guy. I want to see if flying in, it'll actually magnetize. It's what I need it to do. Okay. AI behavior is on. Take me to welder array. Right. So I will still need the event controllers to turn off those. Or just time it correctly so that they disconnect when I hit the button that will send me to the location, so that the timing works. I guess I could, looking at this, I could delete points I don't need to speed this up. So like 15 through 17 could go away on this route. Okay. Come on, magnets. Come on, magnets! Yes! Side to side weren't perfect, but you can walk on and off. That's all I need. And the other one, because I didn't move it from where it stopped, the other way should work too. Okay. Now, I just need to automate. And maybe clean up down here a little bit. I've discovered a little annoying something. I'm on the final stage of setting everything up here. Guess I should let's go ahead and do a quick run through of what I'm doing while I chew on some kelp. So, I have a bunch of lights and event controllers I didn't have before. That should be off for the moment. I've got my various move things, and I have 4 event controllers. I have 2 event controllers that control launching to each destination, 2 that control docking once I get there. The annoying thing I've run into, so these need to work. I can probably set it up on this and it won't do it. Let's find out. So I want this controller to happen when it's ready to lock. That's when the yellow happens. The controllers are set up to do a bunch of tasks once they do. First, it locks the connector. Then it'll turn off our flight controller, turn off our gyro, turn off all the stuff you want to turn off. And then it turns on a light saying it's docked at that location. That's important for my one button press for summoning these things. The annoyance I've come across, you can only select...
Energy critical.
That's fine. You can only select a block for this event if it is in that state. So because this other connector is just free floating, I was trying to set it up first because I was afraid this one would lock as soon as I hit this button. Yeah, I can't select it. So we'll select that. And okay, it didn't happen. So event controllers trigger on state change. So it triggers as soon as it gets in range to lock. If it's already in range to lock, it won't happen. So to make it so I can get this set up before I launch it, I'm just going to pop this guy here. This is now ready to lock. So I go to my dock at base connector. What? I don't understand. And this connector's connected. It's how I'm accessing everything. Why cause me the issue? Okay, that's weird. So with nothing, now they both show up. I searched connector, and now it's here. Okay, they've glitched a little bit of thing, but that's fine. It's okay. Continuing how things work. So I've got my connectors that are set up. I should, if I take manual control here real quick, when I get into position to dock, it should automatically do it and do all the things. I just have to turn that off, which will turn off in a second anyway. There they go. So as soon as it was ready to dock, it did so. Which does leave a bit more of a gap, but that may not happen in practice. So, the lights. These lights are wrong? No. Blue is docked at the array. Yellow is docked at base. Over here is a green one, which is the launch light. So, there isn't, well, the way I'm doing it is the way to easily have an alternating toggle, so you can do complex actions with one button press that change depending on other states. So, my event controllers, if we look in here, so my launch controllers, they watch if blocks are turned on and off. They are watching various lights with an AND gate. What this means, when both these lights are on, my events happen. Which I now... dang it. Good thing I checked this. Okay. I just need to replace... that would have been... the... I hope it's this one. So, anyway. These, when I have both lights on, will trigger the action to launch, and they trigger one of the recorders to play based on which direction I need to go. That is why I have these two lights, which are toggled on as soon as I dock. Basically, these lights give me a way to store what state the ship is in that I can then check when I want to launch. So what I'm going to do for this button and the buttons that are on the base, I want them to turn on the launch light. I think I have it set up. Yeah, I should have it set up such that the launch light turns off when we dock. Base light on. I do not. Oh no, I think I turn it off when I launch. But we'll have a double safety so I don't accidentally end up in a weird back and forth. So, this button turning on the launch light, I have my light that tells me I'm docked at base on. The event controller is then set up to trigger to turn on the docked at array. I think I said the base light, which is... This all gets complicated. Point being, if I press this button, I should go to the base. So let's test. Yes, except for... Oh boy. It's triggering the redock thing as soon as I undock, which is not good. It shouldn't do that. It didn't... First, let's check. So I'm trying to launch to base. Okay, I don't actually have the connector. I don't know why. So, welding array should nope. So, welding array unlock. So, if I want to launch to array, I unlock the base. Okay, for some reason that broke. I don't know why. Let's press the button and see what happens. Nope. So I think, yeah, my issue is when it unlocks, it counts the sort of blue where it's not magnetizing state as still ready to lock. So what I need to do is instead of turning that on,
Energy critical.
which is gonna get a little awkward, but hopefully it'll work. I think part of my issue here is the sequence of these hotbars matter. Events happen sequentially. So those lock, the event 1, 2, 3, 4, they happen one after the other. It's very quick, but they don't happen all instantly. So that may be messing me up. So I need to unlock the connector and turn the connector off. And then our gyro will turn on last, which might be a problem, but I don't want to rotate immediately, so hopefully it'll be fine. So, now we do the same thing over here. Instead of the gyro, this is welder array. Toggle block off. Okay. That should hopefully be good. Toggle them on. Lock that. We should be ready. So that light is on. That light's off. Okay, if I press now, here we go. Yes! We've launched. Okay, this should all be automated to locking and turning everything off. So we'll just ride it down and see what happens. I also didn't think about if I have a ship docked there, this could be a dangerous position. I may get rid of that connector just so I know that this is not a clear parking area. Okay. Oh. There we go. That should be on. That'll make this easier. And I forgot to turn on the docking. Event controllers. No, I didn't. Okay. Well, that didn't work. Did it trigger? Yeah, no, and it didn't turn that light on. Okay. I'll turn that light on manually. Let's try it the other direction. So, because that light is now off, and that light is now on because we're docked to the base, when I hit this button, it will trigger the opposite recorder and send us the other way. Which it's done. Good. Also, this didn't turn back on. Oh, I never set these up. Okay. Or no, I never set up the base one. That's why that happened. Okay. Hopefully everything is on and will do what it needs to do. Yes. Will it lock? It did. Not perfect, but it'll do. I can walk onto it. So now that light is on, that light is off. Now, if I press it again, we launch again. That event control, or that connector is now on. I can't remember if I turned it off or not. Okay, here we go. Pull in and lock. Come on. Ha! Locked. Everything's off. Light is switched. Alright. We've done it. Again, a little awkward, but I don't really care so long as I can walk onto it. So, last thing to do, so I already have somewhere on this base an action relay. Yeah, it's at the docking arm. I have a few. Let's make sure. See, with subgrids this gets tricky because I don't want to program this to use like the relay off of the Stingray. So this is the action relay for the docking arm. Let's actually, to keep this organized, I want a main base relay. And that relay will be primarily for sending signals. Where do those live in computers? Oh, in fact, it's pointless, but if I stick it down here, it'll mimic the connector. Which means it just confuses me and makes me try and park things here when I can't. So I don't know why the Maluga has gone low poly. That's a little odd. Anyway. We have this guy. Action relay. Main base. So its job is going to be to send signals. The action relay on here, let's name it Shuttle. So if it receives on channel 55 a signal, it will trigger the launch light. LAUN. Light. Turn the launch light on. Same thing as the button. This is another benefit of using the light toggles, is it makes it easy to control all the actions with different single action. But anyway, action relay, main base, set channel to 55. It'll send a signal. Call shuttle. Confirm. I guess I can change the name, except for I don't have and naming things. So this button will call the shuttle. Obviously the shuttle's here, so actually pressing it now will launch the shuttle. But if the shuttle isn't here, if it's at the other end, it will receive the action relay signal from this guy, turn on the light, and send it coming this way. So let's go. I have a button at the other end here. Let's get some power. So if I press this button, call shuttle, I can see the shuttle antenna has turned on. I'll probably change the name of that. We can see it moving. Also, why is that on? I don't need that to show on HUD. Yep. It's coming our way. Oh, there it is. I should give it some lights, but yeah, we get to... So if I'm here and, you know, don't feel like using my jetpack to get back to the base in 3 seconds, I can call the shuttle and take like 2 minutes to get back. That's very slow. There are some tricks I think I could try to improve its speed. But it works. Now, take me back to base. Yeah. So this'll, yep, I figured this would get weird pretty much as soon as I started my outro. But I'd call this a successful little shuttle. It's, you know, not perfect, hardly useful, but great for roleplay. That's what we're all about here is, yeah, making things that are thematic and not useful. So as I spin and slide around this pad, well, thank you everybody so much for watching. Next week we are going to be getting into, well, I'm going to design the battle drones, the sort of large grid ships. And then after that, we're going after the Factorum one final time. It's all or nothing. We're taking the fight to them. Either we win or we lose. But that's coming in the future. For now, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to check out the other stuff I've done. And until next week, bye-bye.